Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver prices are blasting higher, as this article states. We are looking at a bull run from silver. The title of this article is actually Big Silver Bull Running. This was written today, so it's fresh off the press. Before we start, I want to mention I'm doing 2 giveaways. There's one currently in action. If you want a chance to win some free silver, go check out the video I posted yesterday. Who doesn't like free silver? I'm also going to be doing another silver giveaway pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. That's why you need to be subscribed. That's why you need to turn on post notifications so you get a chance to win some free silver. Anyways, silver is blasting higher after mid-March's stock panic spawned near crash. This normal oversold mean reversion looks like the start of something much bigger though. Speculators' positioning in silver futures utterly collapsed, leaving massive room for them to buy back in. And silver investment buying since the recent lows has been strong and relentless. All this argues that a big new silver bull market is starting to run. Since silver prices are usually slaved to golds, I don't write silver essays often. Silver usually follows and amplifies whatever is going on in gold, right? Because silver is more volatile, which is the dominant primary driver. So gold's analysis by extension normally applies to silver, which effectively acts like a gold sentiment gauge. But the setup in silver today is unique and extraordinary bullish, leaving it much greater upside potential than the yellow metal. After years of languishing deeply out of favor, silver started soaring last summer after gold broke out to its first new bull market high in several years. Over 9.7 months into early September 2019, silver rallied 40%, achieving a nice upleg. But that left it overbought, stretched away from 1.27 times its key 200-day moving average. Anything beyond 25% above the technical baseline warns of an immediate or imminent major sell-off. Silver indeed retreated 15.5% into early December, and though it later bounced back with gold initially on a US-Iran military conflict, later on COVID-19 pandemic fears, silver couldn't regain those up-leg highs. In late February, as gold itself pushed 6.8% above its originally early September peak, silver was still 5% below its own. That unusual divergence suggested precious metal psychology still hadn't recovered. That was another warning sign that late February's high of gold prices were peculiar and precarious, at risk of major sell-off contrary to mounting enthusiasm. That soon came to pass during last month's crazy stock panic and ultra-rare extreme fear event. While gold got hammered during the frantic rush for cash and panics, bidding of the US dollar, the resulting silver carnage proved much worse like in the last panic. In 7 wickedly brutal trading days in mid-March, gold plunged 11.4%. The massive gold future sell-off driving that was triggered by a huge 6.2% US dollar index rally that spanned. Silver tends to leverage big gold moves 2 to 3 times and thus suffered a blitzkrieg of 29.5 plummeting during the panic. That almost qualified as a formal crash, a 20% plus collapse in just 2 trading days, but silver lost 18.9% at worst by that metric. It takes incredibly extreme selling to drive a crash or near crash, and what has cascaded in silver futures certainly fill the bill. In just 3 weeks into mid-March, silver future speculators dumped an astounding 58.0 K long contracts. That 40.9% plummeting in several weeks was the fastest long purge ever seen in silver futures history. It's important to realize that the breathtaking scope of that much selling due to darn fast. And each silver futures contract controls 5,000 ounces of silver, making that colossal exodus and the equivalent of 290.2 million ounces in 3 weeks. To put that in perspective, consider it relative to global silver mining output per the leading authority, Silver Institute. In 2018, the latest reported data, all the world's mines produces 855.7 million ounces of silver. Over a third that much was cast into the markets in just several weeks. That is crazy, actually. Silver futures trading dominates silver price action. Both because of the big leverage inherent in this realm of resulting price and Silver World's reference one. To get an idea on that leverage, this week's traders are only required to keep $9,000 maintenance margin in their accounts for each silver futures contract they hold. You add another $15.50 silver, those command $77,500 worth of this metal, yielding 8.6 times maximum leverage. Thus, every dollar speculators deploy in silver futures can have up to 8.6 times the silver price impact of the dollars committed via outright investment. That's how speculators panicked, stampede out of the silver futures longs last month, and obliterated silver prices, nearly crashing them. But that selling was so extreme it battered those traders. Total silver futures longs deep in a 6.1 year secular low of just 67,000 contracts at the end of March. This chart supremacists silver over speculators total silver futures longs and shorts reported in the famous weekly commitments traders report. The recent record collapse in the upside bets on silver is unprecedented and is widely bullish for silver going forwards. Since speculators are now essentially all out of silver futures, it leaves massive room for them to buy back in silver power high investment demand. So a lot of stuff is going on, but it's looking like even the ETF compared to the physical side is going to be bullish. Secular silver bulls and mere gold bulls, and today's specimens both started marching from deep lows back in December 2015. Throughout this entire span, speculators' long position in silver futures have never been anywhere close to today's super low levels. When gaming likely comes trends in gold and silver, it's very useful to consider what speculators' futures positioning is relative to their bull trading ranges. So that means that their buying firepower has been expended, leaving nothing to do but sell big to mean revert back down to their near normal positioning. Today's odd silver future scene is a mix of that, with super low longs and short at the same time, but longs are more important because traders usually have more often. Speculators average longs during this bull run at 118,000 contracts, 2 times more than their 59.6 thousand average shorts. So while there is room for massive long buys as well as short selling, the former has much greater potential to drive silver prices. Merely to mean revert back to these bull average levels, speculators would have to buy 50,000 contracts, long contracts. To proportionally overshoot, they'd have to buy 101.8 thousand. That's equivalent to 254.5 million to 508.9 million ounces of silver buying via futures likely in the coming months. So there's definitely going to be a lot of value. Unfortunately, silver investment really is opaque. Silver is bought and sold in countless small venues all over the world, making it exceedingly challenging to gather comprehensive data. The analysts of the Silver Institute are best at this. They only publish the finding once in a year and have worldwide surveys. The latest 2020 edition covering 2019 should be released any week now. I can't wait. So it's going to give a lot of information. But the annual resolution is too far course and rear view mirrored for real-time market analysis. Ideally, we need silver investment data daily or weekly at worst at the silver futures data. Thankfully, there's a great proxy for silver investment demand with daily data. Leading dominant silver exchange traded fund, the SLV, iShares Silver Trust, publishes physical silver bullion holdings every trading day. So, it's talking about a lot of stuff, but silver is definitely a much smaller market than gold. That makes it a lot more volatile, means it hits higher highs and lower lows, and all of this data is showing that there is a bull market, and especially if the volume picks up like they're intending it to be, then a lot of silver is going to be purchased, which is going to be putting money, even new money, new investors, new stackers, new eyes into the world of precious metals, boosting prices not only for gold but mainly for silver. If gold is going to rise and silver is going to rise for, tenfold. So anyways, super volatile and highly speculative, silver is a usually hardcore momentum play. When it is running, investors love it, piloted to chasing gains. But when silver stalls or retreats for a significant stretch, they hate it and flee, right? That's the weak hands in these markets. That's the people that are in it just for a quick buck, and they really have no emotional attachment, no sentimental value. They don't really care about what silver does. They're just trying to make money, but it definitely does bite you in the butt at the end of the day, right? It definitely does bite you in the butt. So, the bottom line is it looks like big news silver bull is running. Silver got hammered to a deep secular low by extreme silver futures selling during last month's stock panic. That left speculators with the vast room to flood back into the silver and amplify its rebound higher. And in the months since, silver investment demand per its leading daily proxy of SLV's holdings has been strong and persistent, a super bullish omen. The catastrophic psychological damage wreaked by stock panics makes silver look way more attractive for diversifying stock-heavy portfolios for years after. And silver investment drives prices higher, creating a powerful, virtuous cycle, with buying begetting more buying. Its last extreme stock panic low, silver has more than quintupled over the last couple of years. A massive bull run is likely again after the last month's panic. So definitely bullish on silver, and I'm curious where you think the price could be headed. You know, this article is fresh off the press, so it's definitely relevant, and what they're talking about is to date, right? They're talking about this even from looking at the prices today. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm curious what you thought about this article. I know it was written pretty heavily, pretty I guess, complex, but I tried to kind of summarize what was going on and what they were saying as we were reading along, so hopefully you were able to keep up with me. If you did enjoy this video, if you thought it was educational, informational, or just entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Also, make sure you go check out my video I posted yesterday for a chance to win some free silver. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.